You know, Willie Sutton said he robbed banks because that's where the money is. And the reason we find pedophiles in the Boy Scouts and the rectory and kids' TV is that's where the kids are. DeSantis wasn't wrong, but we're so tribal now, the left will overlook child if the guy from the wrong party calls it out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and this is a spicy topic for sure. One I didn't think Bill Maher would ever wade into. Now, he is the definition of hit or miss in his coverage. He's right about some things, for example, the jab. He's terrible about anything, Trump related, because even though there are definitely things you can criticize a guy on, Bill Maher has TDS, and so it's just insane. His buddy with Gavin Newsom makes him completely blind to how California is a third or fourth world country at this point. There are many things that Bill Maher gets wrong, not to mention, him not allowing Steve-O on his show because he couldn't go 2 minutes or 1 hour, without sparking one up is pretty pathetic and weak as well. But he did relieve perhaps the most important monologues he's ever had. And given the topic of this video, it's going to be pretty spicy. So I'll say make sure you give it a like and a share. And I'll just remind people that Coffee Brand Coffees, our Mother's Day gift boxes, are now available. They sell out every single time. I mean, I don't even have to, I'm not kidding. So Mother's Day is only a few weeks away. We have a beautiful pre-built one that comes with our brand new Toffee brand toffee with almonds, kettle corn, saltwater taffy. But you can also build your own custom box so you can get the type of coffee, tea, or cocoa that they want, or the kind of snacks they want. Build it up. We have K-Cups, all sorts of stuff. Promo code MOTHER will save you some cash too, so make sure you grab that. But let's talk about this Bill Maher video, because I'll leave a link in the description, by the way. Bill Maher rages at Hollywood for putting kids at risk, calls Disney an aphrodisiac for peds, and slams drag queen story hour trend. It seems like interesting thing.
It must be pointed out that when the evil governor of Florida was saying the exact same thing about kids and creepy stuff at Disney that liberals now find intolerable at Nickelodeon, he was dismissed as a hick and a bigot. But why would a kids' content factory like Disney be all that different than the one at Nickelodeon?
So it seems like Bill Maher saw the Quiet on the Set documentary, and he either knew something, he was moved by it.
For those watching,
maybe some of the people in it he knows in his real life. It's difficult to say, but he was clearly affected by it. And what's wild is Chaya Rychik from Libs TikTok says this is one of the greatest and most important monologues that Bill Maher has ever done. Why does he keep still voting Democrat? As long as he keeps voting them, he's supporting this. He says in this tweet, as it turns out for peds in Hollywood, it is a small world after all. People in the comments just thank you. When I was a Hollywood reporter for a decade in LA, it was so difficult just to get them to listen, including about Victor Salva of Jeepers Creepers. Disney hired someone who had been convicted of this kind of thing on purpose. Nobody would listen to me. Now they do, but some lives are already lost. Tim Young writes, we might disagree on many things politically, but everyone should agree with you on this. There are a few things public figures in the American left you're one of the few with any remaining integrity. I mean, people say, give me a break. You're still going to vote for the Democrats that support these things. Look, maybe we don't have to make this a political thing. Maybe we could talk a little bit, more about the topic.
And it on set, the dark side of kids TV. OMG. Nickelodeon, it wasn't a studio. It was Neverland Ranch with craft services.
He talks about, a lot of the people involved in this. He talks about, all these theme parks that get caught in these various stings. All of this stuff, what it does to people in Hollywood, child actors, how they turn out in real life. It's not, it's not incorrect. It's not wild to think that maybe he's right about this, or that maybe, individually, we need to, not worry about political lines and wonder what exactly is going on out there. Bill Maher hit out of Hollywood for putting kids at risk and called Disneyland an aphrodisiac for creeps. The HBO host uses real time with Bill Maher to talk about protecting kids and insisted that it's every adult's job to protect them. He insisted that Republican Governor Ron DeSantis was not wrong in his attempt to crack down on creepy stuff at Disney. As one of the few people in the public eye who's gone through life and never had kids, someone has to tell me why I'm always having to defend them, he said. Maher went on to slam Drag Queen Story Hour and said it's time to admit that it's more than the queen, more for the queen than the kids. Maher accused those on the left of being hypocrites when it comes to the safety of kids. The reason we find these creeps in the Boy Scouts and the Rectory and kids' TV is that's where the kids are. I mean, it seems so obvious, right? But it's true. DeSantis wasn't wrong, but we're so tribal now that the left will overlook all this terrible stuff if the guy from the wrong party calls it out. He then spoke about story hour trend and sometimes inappropriate with the young audiences. Sure, kids love a clown, but does that clown have to have their chest out? And when I see a 5-year-old tipping at a bar under a sign that says it's not going to lick itself, do I have to pretend that it's cool in order to keep my liberal ID card? I can't do that. Maher discussed a documentary, Quiet on the Set, surrounding the culture of everything that happened at Nickelodeon. He said that it was the talk of the town in Hollywood, but exposed hypocrisy. I said it before. Wokeness is not an extension of liberalism anymore. It's more often taking something so far that it becomes the opposite, he added. Teaching kids not to hate or judge those who are different, great. Proud we got there for all that. But at a certain point, inclusion becomes promotion. The host likened the portrayal of the inappropriate things to kids as entrapment, that they normalize whatever happens. Contrary to progressive dogma, children aren't miniature adults wise beyond their years. They're morons. They're gullible morons who believe anything and just want to please grown-ups, Maher said. Well, which is, the tool of the creeps, right? They don't have any frame of reference, so they normalize whatever is happening. That's why endlessly talk about gender to kids who are 5 and 6 just isn't appropriate. It's what the law would call entrapment, which means enticing people into doing something that they wouldn't ordinarily do. If you think that some of this isn't going on with gender in schools, you're not watching enough TikTok videos. There's a certain kind of activist these days who wants to take hetero-ness, old school fashion, boring, minding its own business hetero-ness, and lump it in with patriarchy and racism and tell kids that wouldn't it be cool if you were anything but that? He added that there seems to be a theme of kinds of a lot of kids' books these days. I never used to use the phrase gay agenda because I thought it was mostly nonsense, and it is mostly. But a director for Disney Television Animation did say that she was hired. The showrunners were super welcoming to my quote-unquote not-so-secret gay agenda. I mean, she said that. DeSantis' war with Disney really ran up in 2022 after CEO Bob Chapek publicly spoke out about the governor's rules about, keeping weird stuff out of schools. In a hit back against DEI, policies were put in place. DeSantis started the process of taking away the massive company from its powers in Florida, which I think is good. Disney agreed to drop their lawsuits against DeSantis last month in a major win for the new board overseeing the land encompassing Walt Disney Resorts. You could see Newsweek, Bill Maher's creeps in Hollywood remarks go viral. The comedian posted a segment on his show on X, formerly Twitter, on Friday night with a caption that turns out the PEDs in Hollywood, it really is a small world after all. It has amassed 30 million views as of Saturday afternoon. Maher said he was grossed out by the revelations in the documentary, adding it didn't just reveal dangerous workplaces, it revealed hypocrisy. Yeah, I'd say, Maher referenced a 2014 CNN article that reported that at least 35 Disney employees were arrested on crimes related to this kind of stuff, according to court records. The comedian also mentioned that Disney stars Allison Stoner said in 2021, People magazine op-ed, that she narrowly survived the toddler to train wreck pipeline. And Cole's spouse told the New York Times in 2022 that the young actress on the Disney Channel was heavily spicified. DeSantis wasn't wrong. It's wild. They talked about the gullible morons thing. One of the most powerful monologues we've ever seen. Watch as liberal media progressives come after Bill Maher for daring to say this out loud. Riley Gaines, a former competitive swimmer who has been outspoken critic of biological men taking spots from biological women, sports wrote. Ex-user Liz Churchill, self-described conspiracy theorist with 400,000 followers, wrote, I never thought I'd hear Bill Maher state that Hollywood is full of creeps, peds. Did Bill Maher become a conspiracy theorist? Remember when we kept telling you that Hollywood and Disney is filled with satanic child creeps? Well, we were right again. Here's Bill Maher with 8 minutes worth of receipts on X. Someone with 300,000 followers who goes by Concerned Citizen wrote. Nickelodeon, of course, addressed the claims. They say, no, we cannot corroborate nor negate claims of behavior of productions decades ago. Nickelodeon, as a matter of policy, investigates all formal complaints. Well, I mean, I don't think there was a lot to really worry about. There wasn't a lot to, by the way, I think it's up to, I don't know how many million impressions this has. Now, again, that's impressions. I don't know how many views this video actually has, but it looks like an embedded YouTube video. I don't know exactly how that, oh, it's just a link to YouTube. Interesting. Oh yeah, it's got 41.7 million impressions now. Again, that's impressions, not views. So that doesn't, indicate how many people may or may not have watched it, but it's still nuts. It's nuts. And it's great to see, somebody with a big platform kind of just come out and be like, yeah, actually this is crazy. Like, yeah, you're not crazy. They are doing this stuff. We should protect kids. And it's sad that this has to be politicized. I hope you're informed by this video. If you were, please do leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please do give it a share. And if you haven't yet, like or follow down below. Check out your Mother's Day gift box from Coffee Brand Coffee, and we'll talk to you again real soon.